Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Tuesday, September 7th. Remember, the markets are closed on Monday for Labor Day. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're somebody that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about the tool of technical analysis and charts to help make good decisions as a trader, then this will be a video for you. And then real quickly, first off, I apologize if the lighting's kind of off. I'm in not my normal house. I'm in one of my investment properties. But long story short, if this lighting looks sketchy, I'm sorry. And then the second thing, just keep in the back of your mind as I go through the video here, that if you like what you see and if you want to learn more about the tool of technical analysis and how it can be used to make good choices as a trader, then I want to invite you to this class that I'm offering next week. That's totally free, and it is a live class. If you're watching on YouTube, then there's a link down in the description box that you can click to get signed up. Or if you're watching at claytrader.com, then somewhere right on the webpage, there's an area that you can click on to get signed up. So like I said, just want to personally invite you to get signed up for it if you're enjoying what you see and you want to learn more about the tool of technical analysis. First stock here, ticker symbol AMC, and overall just a neutral day. Wasn't a bad day, wasn't a good day. And neutral being defined per the levels that I've mapped out in past videos. The key level of resistance right now being that $45 mark. So if you watched the previous videos, these levels should sound familiar. And then definitely the key level of support down there at 42, which, I guess the price kind of got close to right there. Same as right there, but not really. Didn't even get close to it. But point here being where it closed at, not even close to 42. So from that angle of things, very good to see that not only is 42 continuing to hold as support, but really the price hasn't even gotten that close to it. But at the end of the day, moral of the story is that overall just simply consolidating right now. As nice as it would be for stocks to just go straight up every single day, that would be fantastic. That's just not the reality of the markets. So right now, yeah, just chopping back and forth sideways. But really the easiest way to summarize this is that a sideways channel pattern here on the 30-minute time frame, which I should note that I will be using 30-minute time frames, meaning each one of these candlesticks, as they're called, represents 30 minutes worth of time. So overall, though, that's what's going on. Just simply a sideways channel headed into next week. Top of the channel breakout point being right up there at 45. Bottom of the channel support down there at 42. So keep an eye on those levels, and we'll see how it all plays out next week. Next one here, ticker symbol CEI, and this will mean a little bit more to those of you that watched the previous top 10 video, but drew in this pattern right here, talked about the bull pennant, and you can see that earlier on in the day, the price got the break of the pattern, and the rest is history. Made a very, very impressive move. So the power of technical analysis, and again, I realize this will mean more to those of you that watched the video I did previously, but if you don't believe me, if you think I just drew those lines in there right now, I'm not offended. I realize I could just be a total stranger to you, but all you got to do is go back in the video archive, watch the video I did previously, and you'll see I drew in these areas right there. So overall, breakout is underway, and now some updates certainly need to be made. So the next level of support now, so if there is any sort of continued pullback, going to be right there around 78 cents. So to me, 78 cents is an interesting pullback point. And I'm not saying the price goes down there, but even if it did, even if it came down here, bounced around, think about what that would still be giving you from the overall perspective. That'd still be giving you a set of lows there, a set of lows there, a set of lows down there. If you envision each one of those as stair steps, well, from the big picture, you'd still very, very clearly have stair steps progressing in the upwards direction. Again, I'm not saying it is going to drop down there, but even if it did, from an overarching standpoint, you'd still have a very nice setup. And then from a resistance standpoint, key battleground, let's try that again. There we go. Key level to watch moving forward, going to be right up there at the 92 cent mark. So 92 cents going to be that overarching level where I think if the price can break up through there, then nothing's guaranteed, but it becomes at least a valid, logical thought that any sort of break of 92 could definitely create some additional momentum. So we'll see what happens with that. But overall, very, very nice way to end the week. Got the breakout, got the follow through. Now a bit of a pullback here, but now it's just a question of can this pullback ultimately recover and then push up to potentially $1 next week. Let's see what happens. Next one here, ticker symbol BBIG, and a very interesting situation here. And again, this will mean a little bit more to those of you that watched the previous top 10, but even if you didn't, drew in that resistance trend line right there, and you can see that the price is now actually broken above it. Now, the good news is the price broke through that level, so there is technically a breakout. The bad news is it's been a pretty lackluster break. Price broke above it, and then it's just basically been going sideways ever since. Now, that doesn't mean that momentum can't return and the breakout can't continue, but it's also not exactly, the prettiest breakout you could see. But it does, again, present the situation of, okay, a breakout has happened. So while nothing is guaranteed, it makes it a more than plausible, and I would argue a wise question to be asking next week. All right, is this breakout over, or is this breakout maybe just breaking out, taking a breath, and then next week the momentum returns? Again, not guaranteed to happen, but is that at least a rational thought process to have Absolutely. So that's what makes this very interesting. Got the breakout. Now that big old question mark. Can there be more continuation? So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that trend line as it served its purpose. And the level here that I think stands out quite a bit, and it's going to make a big difference here moving forward as that key level of resistance now right up there at $8.50. So if the price can get up through $8.50, then I think that would be a good leading indicator that, the momentum would seemingly be back, and that could definitely produce that much more upside momentum here. But overall, $8.50 definitely going to be that key level. But like I said, interesting dynamic. Got the trend line break. Can more momentum show up next week? We'll see. Next one here, ticker symbol KPLT. Did this one previously, got a very nice breakout today. Now it has pulled back here, but this is nothing new. So, one of those situations where, pullbacks are always nice because now you don't have to worry about, I don't know, am I chasing the price? Am I suffering from FOMO, fear of missing out? Now the people that bought right there, yeah, they're probably not going to have a very good Labor Day weekend. But if you're not in it and you got the pullback here, again, while nothing is guaranteed, and I know I keep saying that, but I want to reiterate, nothing is perfect. So technical analysis is not like a perfect holy grail tool. But my point here is this thing has pulled back before, ultimately turned out to be okay. There's another pullback, turned out to be okay. There is a pullback, turned out to be okay. And here's another pullback. So moving forward, the track record is it could be okay. I mean, in other words, you're not irrational to say, I think this pullback is going to be okay. I think it'll eventually turn back upwards. Now, if it's never turned back upwards before and you're saying, hey, I think it's going to turn back upwards, then people could, realistically question you, wait, why would you think that? It's never done it before. But in this situation, it's done it several times. Once again, does that mean that it will for sure happen? No. Does it make it a valid thought to have? Absolutely. So if you like pullbacks and if you still believe in the overall trend, best illustrated by that trend line right there, well, there you got the pullback. And if history is any sort of indicator of what's to come, well, then you could very well see another nice move to the upside if this trend continues, on next week. But yeah, for you pullback players, here you go. Next one here, ticker symbol IPHA, and same exact premise, what we just talked about. The good news here is this one demonstrated that this thing can move and move very quickly. I mean, check out that move, kaboom, up it went. The bad news is, well, it depends. There is a pretty big pullback here. But if you still believe in the pullback, if you still believe in the overall move, then it is now entering a very interesting level right down here around $5.50, which was the previous breakout point, resistance. You can see resistance there and resistance there. And then there's just a classic rule in technical analysis which states when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support. So it doesn't mean that they will act as support, but it actually has already done that once. Now that I actually look a little closer, check that out. Look right where it back tested, right at that level. So again, is anything guaranteed? No. But is it a rational question? Is it a logical thought to have that? If the price comes down there, it very well could find support and bounce. That absolutely is rational. That absolutely is logical. And that's what our job as traders is. We're not here to gamble. We're here to make good, logical decisions. And to think that it could bounce off of 550 when it's, again, already done it once, definitely an interesting area. But yeah, there's certainly a lot of panic that's shown up. But you definitely would not be chasing the price down here. Again, people that did chase up there, they're not going to have a very good Labor Day weekend. But for those of you that, maybe had the discipline, wanted to see a pullback, you're now getting that pullback. Well, now it's going to be a very interesting situation to see if it gets down to 550. And if it does, can it turn itself around? We'll see how it all plays out next week. Next one here, ticker symbol HUT. I don't know if I've ever done this one before, but what a beautiful, beautiful uptrend. I mean, if I was writing a textbook and I needed an example in the uptrending chapter, I'd go right to this one. Truly a beautiful move here. So let's map out some key levels here. Again, for those of you that prefer to play pullbacks, a couple different locations that stand out to me right there at $10.20 is an interesting level. Maybe you like to see a bit bigger pullbacks. Then another interesting level from that angle would be right down there around $9.50. So those would be the key levels of support. Like I said, assuming you like to play pullbacks. For breakout players, key level seems to be right up there at that resistance right there. And we'll call it right around $10.85. And the price isn't actually too far from there. But overall, like I said, squeezing this down, I mean, this is the epitome of an uptrend. So if you are somebody that likes to, go with the trend and play uptrends, well, then you have this one right here. So definitely a great way to close out the week, especially when you consider the volume that came in. So I'm assuming this one's probably going to set off a lot of people's volume scanners and volume alerts over the weekend when they're doing their scans and such. So I would assume that there's going to be quite a few people watching this one on Tuesday. But yeah, overall, very nice uptrend. Next one here, ticker symbol ENVB, and nice, interesting setup here. Now, a little different because the pullback, or it made the move up, pullback has happened. Now, this one has actually already started to recover. So this is more a question of, do I buy the pullback? Because, that opportunity is pretty much past. But it's a question of, okay, is this pullback over? And is this going to start to return and show signs of strength and return back upwards? So in my mind, the key level of resistance to watch very closely going into next week going to be right up there at $2.72. And then as far as supports are concerned, definitely have a very well mapped out level now down there at $2.35. You can see right there, bounced several more times right there. So again, no guarantees, but by no means is it some sort of random thought to have that if the price goes down to that area, it could potentially, create a nice little entry point. But again, for those of you that like to play breakouts and you want to see just a little bit more confirmation of that, strength is returning, that this uptrend is going to continue, well then in my mind, that red line there represents a very interesting point. If the price can push through that level, then the next key overall level of resistance would just be where the party stopped earlier on in the day, and that was right up there around $2.90. But yeah, overall, nice move up, got the pullback. Now you're starting to see a recovery. If this recovery can gain more momentum, then yeah, it could definitely be a nice opportunity next week. Next one, PROG, and kind of a combination of quite a few things. First off, very nice overall uptrend. You have higher highs, you have higher lows, or you can just use that purple line there, the 50-period moving average, which you can see has got a nice upward slope to it. But you also have the nice thing of, well, at least it's pulled back too. So got a nice pullback within the overall trend. So again, by no means would you have to worry about, am I chasing the price or anything like that? Absolutely not. It has already pulled back. So if you are a pullback player and you like to play pullbacks within overall uptrends, well, here you go. Interesting level of support right now, sitting down there around, let's see, what is that? We'll call it the $2 mark. Or you could just see if the price wants to pull back to that 50-period moving average. For those of you that like to kind of play breakouts within, uptrends, interesting trend line right there. So breakout point, we'll call it right around the $1.15 mark, give or take a little bit. But overall, from a pattern perspective, I'll make this just all the same color. So we have resistance, you have support, you have the pull portion, and then we'll put the golf hole down there to make it more visual. So this would be known as a bull pennant pattern. But overall, very nice setup here headed into next week. Next one, ticker symbol MMAT. And a lot of these seem to have the same kind of general premise here. Overall uptrends and then having a pullback. So again, am I suffering from FOMO? Absolutely not. Now, there are some people, again, that were buying up there that suffered from FOMO, that chased the price, and they're not going to have a very good Labor Day weekend. But if you do like pullbacks within uptrends, you can't really, again, just using that purple line right there, you can see has a nice upward slope to it. So there's no doubt about it. This one isn't an overall uptrend, but it's got the pullback. And, this is not the first time it's pulled back. There's a pullback, turned out to be just fine. There is a pullback, turned out to be just fine. So as I talked about in another one, does this mean that it's guaranteed for sure to be just fine and is going to recover? No guarantees. But is there a track record of it recovering before? Yeah, it's happened several times. So it's not irrational to think that it could happen again. So for those of you that like to play the pullbacks in overall uptrends, there you go. For you breakout players out there, key level of resistance that really stands out to me right up there around $5.85. So keep an eye on that from the breakout point of view. But overall, you got to like the uptrend and you got to like the pullback. Next one here, ticker symbol BTCM. Did this analysis in the previous top 10 and got a very nice move upwards, although somewhat of a cruel move depending on how you played it, because earlier on in the day, this thing broke out and it was looking very, very strong. So it's not like people that were buying the breakout, maybe even adding more to their position, adding to a winner. It's not like they were behaving in an irrational manner. But yeah, sometimes the market's just cruel, and we have an example of that. Like I said, showing signs of strength, and then just like that, kaput, down it went. Now, it's not like the overall chart completely crashed. The price is still in an uptrend. Again, you can see that through the purple line there. Or if you just want to draw a good old-fashioned trend line like that, you can see that the trend is still plenty clearly up. So it's not like the overall chart's destroyed or anything like that. I'm not saying anything in that regard. I'm just saying that from more of a day trading perspective, you had people buying that breakout, again, rightfully so. And then that section of the chart right there got very brutal. But now what makes this interesting headed into next week is the price has started to recover. So if you believe that this thing is just going to continue carry on with the uptrend as it's done before, well, then here you go. You have a very, nice little risk versus reward, opportunity right there. As far as breakout players are concerned in the very near term, could definitely get interesting if the price can get up there through $12.50. Of course, no guarantees, as I've said a million times. But if the price can break through $12.50, would it be shocking to then see the price potentially make a move up to right around the $14 mark? I don't think anybody would be shocked by that. Now, after it gets up to 14, it gets a little bit more sketchy at that point, because as you can see here, the price has really struggled up around that area. But again, I don't think it's irrational to think that if the price can get a good high volume break of $12.50, then the price could very well maybe make a run up there and at least do battle with 14 again at that point. Or again, like I said, if you like to play pullbacks, then if it pulls back there, you got that trend line right there. That could be an opportunity. But that's just a matter of personal preference and personal strategy. So that wraps up the top 10 here. Again, I want to personally invite you, if you did like what you saw and you want to learn more about the tool of technical analysis to help make good decisions, to help formulate logical trade plans, then the class will be next Thursday, September 9th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So definitely get signed up for it. And like I said, you'll learn all about charts, why they work, how they should be used, how they shouldn't be used, and just, the power that they truly bring to us as traders to help us make good, solid, not random decisions. And then as far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy this format, if you would like for me to continue to make videos like this, then please communicate that to me. Hit the like button and leave a very basic comment. It could just be saying hi. It could be a number. It could be anything of your choosing. But by you doing that and communicating to me that it's worth the time and effort, then I have no problem continuing to do these. So just let me know, help me out, or I don't know, let me know what are some of the stocks that you're watching next week. Let me know that down in the comment section too. But if nothing else, like I said, and if you want me to keep making these videos, hit that like button and then leave a very basic comment down below. And again, if you enjoyed this video and you want to learn more about the tool of technical analysis, then definitely get signed up for the free live class next week. And one final time, as a friendly reminder, the markets are closed on Monday for Labor Day. So markets open back up on Tuesday. So I hope you all have a great Labor Day weekend.